Hi! We all know how to use a marker to fill in an image. We've been doing that since we were children. But did you know there are many different ways to use water-based markers like the many marvelous markers on your handmade cards? Well, come and watch as I demonstrate 5 of those for you today. The many marvelous markers are Stampin' Up's water-based markers in their exclusive colors. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 19 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand-stamped smiles. So I'm going to use these today to demonstrate 5 different ways to use water-based markers on your handmade cards, but stick around because at the end I'm going to share 2 more ideas with you. The many marvelous markers are Stampin' Up's water-based markers that contain all 4 of the exclusive color collections plus basic black. And then look, here on the back, they have all of the colors listed, so you can list them in order if you like, including basic black, with a room for 7 of the 10 in colors. All right, so we'll open that up, and there you go. Isn't that a thing of beauty to have all of these colors at your fingertips? Now, you can do the color along the back. You know, I like to be organized, but I'm not quite that particular. But I do like to keep all of my brights in one row. And then we have the subtles, we have the regals, and the neutrals, plus the basic black, and then room for 7 of the 10 in colors. And so you can order them like this. And the cool thing about doing that, of course, is this case. What I found gracious a long time ago, that this case empty was $20, so it's an added $20 value. Or you can order them per collection, you know, again, the brights, the subtles, the regals, the neutrals, and each of the in colors. Oh, just a thing of beauty. So I will be using these today as I demonstrate 5 different ways to use dye-based markers or water-based markers on your handmade cards. The first way is doing what we've been doing since children, coloring in an image. And so what I have here is the strawberry stamped from the Witty Sism stamp set. Oh my goodness, puns crack me up. and so I've already colored with the real red and the basic black. Now the Stampin' Right markers, well, the name of the color is written on there, it's printed on there, and you have 2 tips. You have a brush tip and a finer tip, all right? But that brush tip still has a nice point. Your cap will fit on the other end so it doesn't roll off the table and get lost. And we'll go in here and color it in. Easy, easy, easy. But look at that. I'm getting into that small area with that fine tip and then brushing that in. And so what we can also do, following the lines on here, see they gave us some extra lines for shading. We can go back and go over it and make that just a little bit darker than the rest and still have that shading. So that look fantastic. All right, and so here's the finished card. Aw, isn't that cute? So I like the many marvelous markers for coloring like this on a small image. On a larger image, I can see the brush marks, and that doesn't make me happy. So when you want to use your water-based markers, I'm going to show you how you can do that to color a larger image next. So what we're going to do now is color a larger image without brush marks, and what we have here are the crocuses from the Easter Promise stamp set, and these are the colors that I used. And so how we're going to do that, we're going to watercolor with the aqua painter. So what we need is a non-porous surface. You could use your stamp case. I like using one of our clear mount blocks. And so I'll take the brush end and scribble on some color. And from the side, I don't use the tip to wear it down. Let's just scribble on some color. There we go. And our aqua painter, well, I'm using my stamping sleeves, or you can do a paper towel, but these are right here. And so you squeeze to get the aqua painter going, wipe off the excess. And we'll come over here and pick up the color and watercolor in. All right. So that's nice and soft, a little bit lighter than I want. So let's add some more color. And then when you're done, this will just wipe right off. It's really nice. Oh, there we go. We're getting some deeper color now. Diluted it maybe a bit too much. So you can do the same idea with the classic Stampin' pads, but if you have the markers, you've got the Many Marvelous Markers, you have all of the core color collections in one set. There we go. We're getting deeper color now. Doesn't that look nice? Oh, fantastic. And so there you go, without the brush marks of a water-based marker. Okay, and so here we have the finished card. Oh, didn't that turn out just lovely? Did you know you could color solid stamps like the palm trees from the Timeless Tropical Stamp Set? Well, this is how you do it. So we'll turn it over and we'll color directly on the rubber. And so what I have here is the Old Olive. And again, I want that brush tip. And so what we'll do, I use the side of it and quickly color. There we go. And so we'll do the palm fronds, right? I think that's what they're called. All right, and so again, I'm using the tip, or the side, because I don't want to wear out my tip. And then I slow down. I start getting close to another color, like right here. And I may even use the tip. There we go. Get that all colored in. Oh, looking good. Fantastic. All right, and so then for the trunk, I have the Early Espresso. There we go. And now this is where I'll use that tip to get right up in here. There. And then the side to finish down here. Get up in there. Oh, looking good. And as I color that, I see I missed a little bit, I think, down here. So I'll come back. All right. It looked like right here. Yeah, I missed a little bit. All right. So water-based markers, well, they dry very quickly, which is nice because they don't smear on you, right? Because they just dry so quickly. But they were drying as I was coloring. You know, I got that done, worked on this, and then that was drying. And I think I may have missed a little bit right there too. Oh, there we go. Great. And so they're drying. And so what you need to do is revitalize the ink. And how we're going to do that. Do you remember when you were a kid and you'd huff on the car window and write your name in it? Yeah, I bet your mom loved that too. So we're going to add the moisture by doing that. So I'm going to huff on it. Huff. There you go. Huff. My husband, he sees us doing that. He says, "What are you doing? Trying to eat the stamp?" Like, no, no, no. I imagine that's what it looks like exactly. So I'm going to hold this down a little bit extra long so I can get a nice vibrant color, because it's a solid stamp. And there we go. We've got the two-tone. Isn't that fantastic? So what I did to finish it is I colored in so it wasn't so white with the crumb cake. Now, this is not permanent. All right, the Early Espresso isn't permanent, so it'll be okay because it'll just blend a little bit with this. Well, I can show you. It'll blend a little bit. All right, and it'll blend in and it'll look just fine. But if you try to use another color like a yellow, it would smear. All right, so you just have to be careful when doing something like this, but you can. And so then you die cut with the coordinating dies, the In the Tropics dies. There we go. And here's the finished card. Isn't that nice instead of those trees all Old Olive? Did you know you can also use water-based markers to isolate an image? So I have here the graduation cap from the Witticism stamp set again. And so what we'll do is we'll use the Garden Green Stampin' Right marker. And I want just, for this one, just the greeting. And sometimes you just want part of an image, and this technique is called omitting. So we're going to omit the graduation cap. And we've colored that in, and we just learned that we huff to revitalize that ink. And I need to go in the center here and stamp. And there we go. We have just the image. All right. And so here's our finished card. So we die cut that. And then now for this, I did stamp the whole thing and got the cap with an ink that was more waterproof. But here's a bonus tip. When coloring with black, to use most black, when we had our basic black, it was a permanent ink, it would turn purple. So I thought, oh oh no. So that's when I would go back and get out my basic black Stampin' Right marker, my non-porous surface, scribble on there, and color with my aqua painter. So there you go. That's how you get basic black, or a black, right, without it turning purple, from a permanent marker. So next we have the stems and leaves from the Timeless Tulip stamp set, and I'm going to use something Stampin' Up! Used to carry, and it's called a color spritzer. Now I did find something similar, very similar to this, and I'll have a link to it under the video. And so what you do, let's take our cap off. This time I have Gorgeous Grape, one of the brights, and you slide it through here, tighten this up. Now what's important is this, we're going to blow ink on there. It needs to be right on there. It's easy to get off to the side, and then that doesn't work. So you want it right, directly on it, and then you tighten it until you've got that. All right, so this makes a difference. The closer you are, the tighter the spray. I want something that's a lot further out, so I'm going to come out here, and you need to give it a good, oh, there we go. And I'm going to stop because it's easy to end up with a snowstorm of the Gorgeous Grape. But isn't that pretty? And so then we put our tulips on top. And if I was even further away, it would have been even more, it would have been laid out even more, scattered even more. All right, and so I was further away because I wasn't on camera with this one, and see how even finer the mist is. And there's our finished card. Very pretty. Okay, so 2 things you can do, right? 2 more that you can take the marker and you can have a color coordinated image. You can write what you'd want inside. And for that, I would use this end, or sign your name, because a lot of times, we'll have a sentiment, but you can sign your name and keep everything color coordinated. And I had a friend, oh my goodness, she is awesome. Sometimes you stamp an image and you just didn't get it quite straight. Now, I'm not saying I can do this, but she can take the marker, and usually it'll be the basic black because she had stamped the image in black, but whatever. And she could actually draw in the rest. So that might be a way to salvage a card. And so those are 2 bonus tips to my 5 ways to use water-based markers on your handmade cards. Isn't it amazing how many different ways we can use water-based markers on our handmade cards? And if you enjoyed my tutorial and would like to order the many marvelous markers, well, they're available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. And if you'd like to get more of my stamping tips, well, I invite you to subscribe to the Stampers Insider. It's your free stamping source for inspiration, information, and ideas. Just go now to www.thestampersinsider.com to subscribe. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.